Welcome to the deep dive. We sift through the research so you get the key takeaways, fast. Today, we're looking at maybe the most important relationship, how you talk to your kids. And this isn't just, manners or getting them to behave.
No.
We're diving deep into the science, the really fascinating stuff that shows how everyday chats, the tone, the words, they're literally shaping your child's brain, their actual nervous system.
That's exactly it. And I think what a lot of parents don't realize is just the sheer volume of automatic communication,
Right, the autopilot stuff.
Yeah, totally autopilot. If you actually recorded yourself for a day, most of us would probably find we're asking tons of questions, giving orders, correcting.
Or even subtle judgments we don't notice.
Exactly. And often we're just echoing how we were parented. It's a neural pattern. It's really crucial to say this isn't some kind of moral failing.
No, definitely not.
It's just the brain's default setting.
Yeah.
And maybe it needs an update.
Like running on factory settings that were maybe built for, efficiency back then, but not connection now.
So our mission today, understand the brain science. It's actually pretty amazing behind real connection. And then give you 3 practical tools. We're talking labeled praise, reflection, and maybe the most important one, repair.
Yeah.
To help you build like a new default setting based on safety and trust.
Okay, let's get right into it because this claim is huge. How does just changing my words, like instead of what are you doing, saying something descriptive, how does that literally change my child's insides, their physical state?
Okay, so it boils down to safety, access to safety. And the go-to framework here is Dr. Stephen Porges' polyvagal theory.
Polyvagal, okay.
Yeah, so the vagus nerve, it's not just one simple thing. Think of it like a super sophisticated surveillance system. It's constantly scanning, looking at your face, hearing your tone, watching your body language to figure out, is this situation safe or is it dangerous?
So it's like a built-in risk assessment.
Constantly running, yeah. And Porges describes these 3 main states. Sometimes people call it the polyvagal ladder.
Yeah.
So right at the top, you've got the social engagement system. That's the green zone safety connection. It's where kids learn, feel curious, play.
Right, the ideal state.
That's where you want them.
Yeah.
Then below that, there's mobilization. That's your classic fight or flight, stress, threat. That kicks in.
Okay.
And then right at the bottom, there's the dorsal vagal state. That's freeze, shut down, collapse.
So how does my talking fit onto that ladder?
Well, when you speak with warmth, when you reflect what they're doing or feeling, when you offer that genuine connection, you are literally, physiologically activating their social engagement system.
So I'm helping them climb the ladder.
You're giving them the signal to stay at the top
Right.
or come back up. That connection, that feeling of safety, it regulates their nervous system way more effectively than trying to control or correct them. Your tone, your eyes, your posture, it's a direct message to their brain saying, you're okay, I see you, you're safe here. And when that all clear signal gets through, the brain shifts out of defense mode.
Yeah.
And suddenly they have more capacity to cooperate, to listen, to learn. The behavior often just improves naturally.
That totally reframes things.
Yeah.
Bad behavior isn't just them being difficult. It could be a sign they're actually stuck lower down that ladder in defense mode.
Often, yes.
Yeah.
But it's not just their internal state changing, right? We're also modeling those mirror neurons everyone talks about.
The emotional Wi-Fi.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Rizzolatti and Sinigalia.
Yeah.
When they found these neurons, they fire both when we do something and when we just watch someone else do it.
So if I'm always stressed out, snapping, using harsh words, their brain is mirroring that, creating a template for stress.
That's the challenging side, yes. It wires that in. But the flip side is the opportunity.
Right.
When you manage to stay calm, when you use that regulated reflective language yourself, their mirror neurons pick that up. It's like you're giving them a lesson, neuron by neuron, on how to soothe themselves, how to communicate effectively.
Okay, this sounds amazing, but we need to talk about attunement here, right? Because every kid's nervous system is different.
Oh, absolutely critical, yes.
Yeah.
Attunement is everything. It's about reading your child.
Yeah.
So maybe you have a neurodivergent child, for example. Intense eye contact, even if your tone is warm, might already feel threatening to them.
Okay.
They might need like shorter interactions or maybe more nonverbal cues of safety. It's not a rigid script. The goal is connecting with their specific system, meeting them where they are, not forcing them into some standard box.
Flexibility, attunement, not perfection.
Exactly. Okay, so before we get into the how-to, let's just acknowledge this stuff is hard.
Yeah, it really is.
It feels hard because as adults, our brains have spent years, maybe decades practicing the quick command, the instant correction. Those neural pathways are deep.
Like superhighways.
Totally.
Huh.
So switching gears to something slower, more reflective, it takes real effort. And honestly, a lot of self-compassion, especially if you didn't get that kind of validation growing up yourself.
It's definitely cycle-breaking work. You're trying to rewire your own brain while navigating your kid's development.
Mm-hmm.
But the good news, and this is important, is neuroplasticity. Our brains can change at any age. We can build these new pathways.
We absolutely can, which is why the sources often suggest something really practical, like the 5 minutes a day challenge.
Okay.
Just 5 minutes where you intentionally practice these new ways of talking. Or, hey, if life is totally overwhelming, start with 30 seconds.
Just tiny reps, building the muscle.
Exactly. Relationship reps. It's not just talking, it's practicing specific skills.
So, skill number 1, the ratio. This one is measurable. What's the goal here?
The research suggests aiming for about 5 positive interactions, like labeled praise or reflections, for every 1 correction or command.
5 to 1. Wow.
Yeah, 5 to 1. If you can flood their environment with that much positive signal, you're constantly reinforcing that safety message to their nervous system.
Okay. And the biggest lever to pull to get that ratio up?
It's probably swapping out those automatic questions and commands for intentional reflection.
Explain that. Reflection versus question.
So when we're stressed, our default is often like, why did you do that? Or what's wrong? Or stop doing that.
Yep. Sounds familiar.
Right. And that immediately puts the child on the defensive. Their brain goes into protection mode.
Okay, hold on. Let me push back a bit here for everyone listening. My kid, say, is drawing on the wall with a Sharpie on the new paint.
Oh boy.
My instinct, my hardwiring is stop. What are you doing? Are you really saying I should pause and reflect? Like, wow, you're really going for it with that marker on the wall. That feels passive, like I'm losing control.
Okay, great point. And that resistance is totally normal.
Yeah.
This is the key distinction. Reflection isn't permission. It's not passive parenting.
Okay.
It's the setup for the boundary. Think about it.
Mm-hmm.
If you lead with stop, like you said, you trigger their defense system, their emotional brain flares up. And the thinking part, the prefrontal cortex that needs to hear the limit, it kind of goes offline.
So the limit won't even stick because they're already freaking out.
Pretty much. But if you start with reflection, wow, you're really focused on that red marker right now. Look at those big marks.
Mm-hmm.
You're acknowledging their reality first.
Seeing them.
Yeah, signaling safety. Then once they feel seen, once they're a bit more regulated, then you bring in the limit. Hey, markers are for paper, not walls. Let's get this cleaned up and I'll get you some paper.
Ah, okay. So connection first, then correction. The limit lands differently.
Totally differently. They can actually hear it and tolerate it better because they know you're still with them, not just against them.
That's a huge shift. Okay, and speaking of validating, technique 3, labeled praise. We all say, good job. Right.
We do. And honestly, good job is, well, it's pretty weak sauce for building behavior.
Why?
It's too vague. The child hears, good job, but their brain doesn't actually know what was good. What specific action should they repeat? They don't get the blueprint.
The label is the blueprint.
Okay, exactly. So when you use labeled praise, you're being explicit. You're highlighting the specific thing you want to see more of.
Give me an example.
So instead of just good job on a puzzle, you say, wow, you worked so hard to finish that puzzle. You didn't give up even when it got tricky. Now you're wiring in the value of effort, of perseverance.
Okay, I see.
Or maybe, I love how gently you were petting the cat just now. That teaches specific kindness and empathy. You're giving them the actual words for the positive behavior.
You're building their internal vocabulary for their own character?
You really are.
And quickly, on attention, the sources say, ignore the small stuff if it's not a safety issue, because attention feeds behavior more than correction does.
That's generally true, yes.
Yeah.
The brain learns from what gets attention. So if you want more of something, notice it, label it, give it that positive attention. If it's minor, annoying stuff, often ignoring it is more effective than jumping on it. Okay, now we need to get real. This is messy.
Yeah.
You're human. You're going to get tired, stressed from work, or money worries, or just life. And you will lose your cool sometimes. You'll get triggered. You'll snap. That 5-minute goal we talked about, some days it's going to feel absolutely impossible.
And that's okay.
It has to be okay. This work demands huge self-compassion. Perfection is not the goal. It's not even possible.
So this is where it gets really powerful, I think. The idea of repair. We often think the parent has to be this perfect, always calm rock. But what happens when we mess up? When we break that connection.
That rupture moment.
Yeah.
The magic isn't in avoiding it forever. It's in the repair.
Okay.
When you lose it, when you yell or say something harsh, that's the rupture. The repair is intentionally coming back later when things are calm and modeling accountability. You need to own your part.
So what does that actually sound like? Give us the words. What should a parent say?
It needs to be direct and a little vulnerable. Something like, hey, earlier I got really frustrated and I yelled. That wasn't okay. My reaction was way too big for what was happening. That was my mistake, and I'm really sorry. I love you. Can we try that conversation again?
Wow. Just hearing that script feels powerful, taking responsibility.
It is. And think about what the child learns in that moment. It's profound.
What are those lessons?
Okay, 3 big ones for building secure attachment. First, they learn that mistakes happen and they don't destroy the relationship. It can handle bumps.
Okay.
Second, they learn that big, scary emotions are manageable, even overwhelming ones, because you, the parent, showed you could feel it, mess up, and recover.
You modeled coming back from it.
Exactly. And third, maybe the deepest lesson, they learn that people can mess up even badly and still come back to love each other, to reconnect reliably. That rupture and reliable repair, that's actually how secure attachment gets built.
So it's not about never having ruptures.
No, it's about consistently, reliably repairing them, coming back. That's the goal. Not perfect connection, but reliable reconnection.
That really changes the pressure, doesn't it? The repair is actually part of the success.
Absolutely.
Okay, so for our listener who's thinking, right, I want to do this, I want to be more aware, what are some concrete first steps?
Well, just simple mindfulness can help. Noticing your automatic urge to ask a question or correct. Maybe journaling about it. But if you want a real data-driven look, try audio feedback.
Yeah.
Seriously. Just record 5 minutes of a normal interaction, maybe playing, maybe mealtime.
And then listen back.
Yeah. And just tally it up. How many commands, how many questions, how many good jobs, and how many genuine reflections or labeled praises.
Oof. Seeing that ratio, just a raw number.
It can be incredibly eye-opening.
Yeah.
It takes it out of the realm of guessing, and it gives you a real baseline, something concrete to work on.
Yeah, a starting point.
Okay.
Hashtag tag outro.
Yeah.
So wrapping this up, what's the core message here? I think the really beautiful takeaway from this deep dive is that shifting your communication, it isn't just about, smoother interactions day to day. It's about physically helping your child's brain move away from that defense mode, that fight, flight, freeze, and into a state of safety. Connection, curiosity, what felt like just automatic reactions starts to feel more intentional, more conscious as you practice these things like reflection and labeled praise.
And, if you zoom out,
No.
maybe the final thought to leave you with is this. The way we talk to our children becomes the voice inside their head.
Wow.
That internal narrator, their sense of self-worth, their feeling of safety in the world. You're helping to write that script right now with your tone, with your words, with your willingness to repair.
That is definitely something to sit with. Okay, so your call to action, if you're listening. Just try one thing today. Before the day is over, try one moment of reflection instead of a question. Or offer one piece of specific labeled praise.
This one.
See what happens. You don't need a whole hour, maybe just 30 seconds of intentional connection. See how their nervous system, and maybe yours too, responds.